Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
TikToker Camila Alhassan deserves jail she got. IGP Angrily pushes for more punishment. TikToker Camila Alhassan deserves jail she got. IGP Angrily pushes for more punishment. Now, the IGP of the Republic of Ghana is extraordinary. Very powerful IGP. He was the only one decorated this match. And even John Evans Atta Mills, who was a president of this country, the only president who died whilst he was still president. In other words, a sitting president, decorated this man. In fact, what kind of decoration did he slap on this IGP? His name is IGP Tete Yohonu. That is his name. In fact, he became a policeman from the age of 20. And when he hit 60, the president said, you can't go. You have so much experience. You were the only one decorated as the king of fighting crimes in the whole of the country. How can you go just like that? Remember, he was slapped with 2 more years. Extra contract to stay. My brother, my sister, and all Ghanaians are attesting to the fact that this man is not an ordinary man. Probably he has a third eye that we can't see. Any cockroach who coughs on social media, how this man is able to pick these people up using intelligence is exasperating. Oh my God. This is an IGP. His name is Tete Yohonu. From the age of 20, he was a policeman. He spent over 40 years of his life policing Ghana and beyond. Even in retirement, he was brought back to refire. Oh my God. He might perspire, but he would continue to refire until the real retirement comes. This is Tete Yohonu. I am so impressed. Criminal activities in the country, well policed. Every now and then, we see people being nabbed, left, right, and center, and they face justice. Since he came, in fact, he has been promoting people whose promotions had been neglected so many years ago. And it looks like a new life of vibrancy is beginning to spring up in the police service right now. Maybe the new thing or the next thing to do is to bring more honor to the police by making the police understand that patriotism, that's it, and is beyond all the money they make in their pockets, so that the little coins some of the policemen still take on the street will be curtailed. This is the IGP. He's my IGP, and I love him. My brother, my sister, he's angry. Why is COP Tete Yohonu, IGP Tete Yohonu, angry? It looks like he's looking for more punishment. Oh yes, looking for more punishment for a certain lady who goes by the name Camila Alhassan. This is Camila Alhassan. My brother, my sister, when I look at her, I see nothing but demonism. When I look at the face, I see nothing but craziness. This was the lady, my brother, my sister, who was slapped with a 1-year jail sentence to go right there and roast in jail. Ghanaian TikToker Camila Alhassan sentenced to 1 year in prison for publishing false news, alleging President Mahama buried 32 cows to win the 2024 election. I wish it was this simple and simplistic. This is Camila. How old is Camila? She just celebrated her 43rd birthday. She's not a little girl. My brother, my sister, she's a TikToker who has over 70,000 subscribers. And anytime she posts something on TikTok, oh, people go there to listen and to watch, because it looks like she is just out there to insult and to denigrate. Oh yes, we have a number of them in our political space. Abronye is one of them. My brother, my sister, this woman is so demonically toxic. Now, she posted a video. And the video she posted, it looked like she was on a personal agenda against the first gentleman of the land. She hasn't seen the fact that every nation in the world is praising President John Dramani Mahama. Unprecedentedly, the Ghanaian city has been able to command the American dollar to show respect to it. The economy is booming. Hey, the finance minister is doing marvelously well, and everybody is applauding, including Bloomberg, including the man who called us all shitholers. I'm talking about Trump, America's Trump. My brother, my sister, Ghanaians are beginning to feel so Ghanaian now and have a lot of respect. Yes, the Minister of Foreign Affairs is globe-trotting, making sure every single Ghanaian in every single hole around the globe gets the justice that they deserve. But this woman here does not still see the importance of President Mahama becoming president and the milestones that have been achieved. So she put a camera on herself and then she started to throw allegations at the president. My brother, my sister, what did she say that caught the attention of the police? Watch this.
Mama kwati ampeni mi. Mama wrong dross. Mama ukodi Eyimisville. Papa no. Sesi awama ye opening no. Enya ade a ye begai. Ye hu se akwamdo. Unni sika odi be 24-hour economy no. Enti ye hu se akwamdo wi ye. Ebi ye TikTokers na ye wa na ye wo followers no. Ye ba chira wo shege. Sa ukraman no waba. Ukraman no ade duro so wa America no waba. Ebo Kevin Taylor walande ye nya information so walande na Mahama wo so nyame kumuma ye ubewu wono yire lodi na nyina sase awama ye opening papa me no kasa wonti wo hu sa de ni famu de ni jojo na wo ye fu dwin 30 minutes pe sa ni pa show wa exactly 5 for 35 so show sa pan was 6:30 ye kasa chiro wonti because wo fa famu de apeteshini to say wo nim say dey na wo ye no wo jimi because who my MP before opening.
I honestly would have looked for her father and her mother, and I'll know the kind of people these parents are, with all respect to her parents. A bad fruit does not come out of nothing. It comes from a bad tree. Listen to the vitriol, calling the president names, insulting the president of the republic, gone beyond insults to denigrate him, call him a drunkard of appetition, and say that this man is a pedophile, and you don't have any scintilla of evidence. This is how a lot of these NPP foot soldiers talk. They are so much in a hurry to grab back power after 8 years of nonchalance and irresponsible leadership. When I first saw this video, I was so angry. In our society, men can disrespect men, and it's a little mild, though it is not subscribed to. But when women disrespect men, it is very serious. The accounts have a saying that I like, that when a woman calls a man foolish, say oba frebema kwasia, it is so hurting, so bad that it might end a marriage instantly. But if a man calls another man foolish or stupid, they could sort it out and walk. That is the kind of culture we have in our country. She put a camera on herself, called the president a drunkard, a pedophile, called him all sorts of names, and at the end of the day, threatened the life of the president and his wife, the first lady, that they would die. A woman. Do you think this woman is okay upstairs? What kind of desperation for power is this? Who paid her? Who asked her to go out there and speak like this? This is a woman, I'm told, has a child or children. Which man slept with this one too? Do you have eyes? Sometimes I look at some women, and I hate to say this, and I wonder which men will bring themselves to have an erection to penetrate these things. My brother, my sister, no matter how much Viagra I swallow and inject and inhale, I will never have an erection for a thing like this who has no respect. Just speaking anyhow. You can criticize the president. We all critique. But when you denigrate and threaten the life of the leader of your country like this, what message are you sending out? No common sense, does not even understand the difference between Togo and Togo. These are the people who were sleeping with their teachers while they were in school, got pregnant, and made unwanted abortions, my brother, my sister, before they reach here. Out of frustration, they think somebody is responsible for their failure. Listen to the words. Well, she didn't end there. She has more to say. Watch this.
Simply because by hook or crook, so be dear say didn't get any person. Some fit some judge, dear some no manka. Some flooding where they young be that. A woman say ye tone show pan show to. Away the broso. Unkwa by Amagana bre. Yamana was saying doson. Amagana what do it just say when Trini Ankasa unkwa by. Yakwaka yes my mind. Kasa what's the flight? We your bear man can so faka. Nanka Nanti Ganas as soon as I bet pain. Once a warehouse of Rania Mefa. And so find near my warehouse. I'm not sure Uncle Fusujina Muyidio Mope. Don't come in, no. I did be what papa yet. And so would you also be what is claim? And I will take it 24-hour economy man. We'll take it 24-hour market. I'll be Simamba or Mukofi or Mumba Bonti. No Marco Jare because Uncle Dufia or Mukunumbeca so Mujal or Mubon. Unya by professor intro. Yes, I would a part. Saga wide. What is a part na never ye bibiamo? Into 2 course no work is in me. Most opposition, some of them in our way. And so now doing 8 years in sure you gonna die. A woman say, Namina Yadia, but Niamana would shas as I say. Musia say, Moon and Jetta to Tunia Mania, Munia Maniama Musia, Muria Muchepad, a Camuchusuma, president of the whole Ghana, the whole globe, the whole Yasina, open our bow with a pad, Mr. Pad. 24-hour economy man, 24-hour in cocoa. Come go and sit down. So, you know what Roma. You know what Roma. But see my young. Boom.
Such a little fry. Did you hear the word I use? Fry. F-R-Y. Not fly. A fry is a little fish. Camfra. The Asantis call it camfra. This is camfra. Keta school boys. Listen to the words from this ugly stinking mouth. 24-hour economy, you can't do it. That's okay. You are criticizing. It's good. Go ahead. But when you go beyond it and step out of the comfort zone into the danger zone, then you expose yourself to whatever you must be ready for. She said the president is the only president of Ghana who is sharing parts, sanitary parts, to women in Ghana. My brother, how many times haven't we heard in the past that we have leaders who have multiple iPads that they don't even know how to switch on? Yet, our little daughters in the schools are still struggling to get an iPad during that time. I beg your pardon, sanitary pad during that time of the month. President Mahama came in and told himself that, you know what? Yes, it is a natural thing that happens to women. I love women. Let me be sure that at least we will give this to our ladies so that they can keep themselves sanitized. She says it's a problem. A woman who probably has benefited from that. She says it is for the purposes of juju, purposes of black magic, and that the president buried 32 cows. That is why we have flooding all over Ghana. And she says it with so much seriousness as if she has any facts. Well, on the 9th of July, she was picked up. And when she was picked up, due to the intel that the IGP got, my brother, my sister, what? How they were even able to fish her out. My brother, we don't have too much time to go into that. If I was to gist to you, you will clap for the Ghana police. Wonderful intel. Picked her out from the hole that she was hiding in and pulled her out. She was shocked how she was picked up. She became numb all of a sudden. She froze. Look at her struggling to get onto the car. She's so much in a hurry. My brother, my sister, and then she was arraigned before court. And this silly liar, when she realized that she didn't have any facts, nothing at all, and a few crazy NPP people were also in the periphery supporting her. What kind of a nation are we building? What kind of a nation are we building? She threatens the life of the president. She tells a lot of lies. And then she has been picked up. My brother, my sister. And there she is. Arraigned before the courts. If the police hadn't surrounded her, I am sure she would have been used for Ngongo. They would have skinned her alive and served her meat to some Nigerian cannibals, maybe Ugandan cannibals or Ghanaian cannibals. But they guarded her, put her in there. When she was slapped with a 1-year prison sentence, you know what she did? She ran to the IGP and told the IGP that she was pregnant. Somebody had hinted her that, oh, once you are pregnant, your jail term would be delayed. So go and say this. The last time this one slept with a man was probably 50 years ago, when she was not even born. Which man wants this one? You want it? It is so sad. Look at her. I wish she had been taken for some mental checkup, to be honest with you. Because look at her countenance. Look at her. What is she telling news people? Watch her face. Watch this. This doesn't look normal to me. Well, she told the IGP and the court that she was pregnant. And the IGP said, well, the court said, well, she thought it was in the days when we would have to fly all the way to Germany with samples, go all the way to Afghanistan, transition right there inside Oceania, transit in Holland before we get to El Dorado to find out exactly if she's pregnant or not. Immediately, there was a pregnancy test that was arranged. Bam! It came out that she wasn't pregnant. She was only saying that to delay the court case. My brother, my sister, she was bundled up like a sack of cassava and carried all the way to the prison to go and join Sedena Tamaklu Ationu. She's lucky she didn't go there to meet Agrada. But the NPP is at it again. There's a guy called Nana B. His father was Boachi Matres. He was a very wealthy businessman in the days. For a reason, Rawlings found a way of collapsing the business of this guy, which I don't support. But he said he did it for tax evasion reasons. My brother, my sister, I have read so much about that. I wasn't there when this thing happened. But whatever it was, that was what Rawlings said. And this man, from that time, has developed some kind of aversion for anything that ends in a DC. Whether it starts with PN or it just starts with N, is the same value. He doesn't like anything that ends in DC. Not even Dansuman, which is called DC. My brother, my sister, this is the guy. He's called Nana B. Nana B has posted something on social media. And I need us to see exactly what it is. Watch this. See, Henry Nana Boakye, President Mahama's war against free speech, the case of Camila Alhassan. I've observed the wide outrage on social media about the 1-year incarceration of TikToker Camila Alhassan for allegedly publishing false news about President Mahama. Now, the public anger is justified, well placed, and a strong indication of Ghanaians' intolerance of the abuse of power by the current government. However, the actual horror story is here. The actual horror story here is the carefully orchestrated antecedent that landed Camila in jail in less than a week of her arrest. 1. The police arrested Camila on Friday, 9th July 2026, and immediately arraigned her before court without access to counsel or any family. Under those circumstances, the young lady pleaded guilty to the offense without the advice of counsel, and same was recorded by the court. 2. The following Saturday, when a counsel and family appeared at the Spintex police station after searching several police stations, Camila had been physically assaulted. A fact confirmed in the presence of a counsel, family, and a senior police officer who was alleged to have brought her to the Spintex police station. This is Nana B talking. Number 3. On Monday, the 30th of July 2026, Camila's lawyers filed a motion for her plea to be retaken by the court so that her case can be properly tried for the prosecution to establish the offense. And this motion was fixed by the court's registrar to be heard on the 23rd of July 2026. 4. Surprisingly, when she appeared before the circuit court today, the presiding judge asked Camila's lawyers for a few minutes only to proceed to write and hand down the excessive 1-year sentence. The judge failed to even acknowledge the pendency of the consequential application for her plea to be retaken, which could have reversed the miscarriage of Camila pleading guilty under duress earlier. Now, the protection of free speech covers all speech, including harsh and offensive speech, which is why defamation laws exist. Yet, the Mahama government keeps showing its insatiable appetite to use law enforcement to harass its critics and reinstate the culture of silence. Lawyers for Camila are currently preparing to appeal the case and restore her freedom. Dash. The good thing is that lawyers can appeal. She can have 1 million lawyers. She can go from one state to the other until everything is exhausted. That means that the law is working. My brother, these are the hungry wolves who are hungry for power. Nana B and all those other jackals, political jackals. They are looking for power. The 8 years of stealing, massive stealing, is not enough for them. NPP, never again. I am so fed up with this party. I don't know. My brother, 8 years of nonchalance, 8 years of arrogance, 8 years of foolishness. I am fed up with these NPP guys. When Nana Akufo-Addo came, we were those who supported him. Maybe one of these days I have to play back some of those tapes so people would get to see how much of cheerleaders we were. Because he spoke about something that was so pan-African. Africa beyond what? Aid. We supported that. We applauded that speech. But he was only a joker, comedian, worse than Nkomode and Bishop Bob Okala. At the end of the day, he carried a magic chair in a certain V8, fully air-conditioned, and the taxpayer paid for that grigri. Find out what grigri means. G-R-I-G-R-I. Seriously. Today, these hungry political jackals, hungry for power, after stealing so much, my brother, you know, easy money comes and it goes so easily. They have finished spending it. They want to come back and loot again. We still remember that woman who had millions under her bed in all major currencies of the world. NPP, never again. We remember the lies Bawumia told us day and night. NPP, never again. We remember Nana Addo's arrogance, commanding chiefs and kings to get up and herald his arrival like King Nebuchadnezzar. NPP, never again. We remember how your Attorney General waited and wasted time during COVID. Instead of going to the international cause to fight for Ghana's cause. And you know what happened? We finally were forced to pay judgment debts to ingrates and idiots. My brother, my sister, all because of arrogance. What do I mean? And when did I infano? LPP, never again. The police issued a statement. What did the police say? Come here. Run it, my youth. Police is speaking. And this is from the annals of the police service. Interesting. Police secure conviction of Camila Alhassan for offensive conduct. Now, the Ghana Police Service has secured the conviction and sentencing of Camila Alhassan, 43, to 1 year imprisonment with hard labor by the Accra Circuit Court for offensive conduct following the publication of offensive and abusive content on social media targeting the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and the First Lady, Mrs. Lordina Mahama. Now, the convict was arrested on the 9th of July 2026 through an intelligence-led operation after police intercepted a TikTok video in which she made offensive, insulting, and derogatory remarks against the President and the First Lady, including threats against their lives and false allegations concerning the President's private life. The statements were considered capable of disturbing public peace and undermining national cohesion. Following investigations, convict Camila Alhassan was charged with offensive conduct and false communication and put before the Accra Circuit Court, although sentencing was initially deferred following her claim that she was pregnant. A medical examination conducted at the police hospital confirmed that she was not pregnant. On the 16th of July, 2026, the court sentenced her to 1 year imprisonment with hard labor. The Ghana police is also taking steps, and this tells you how angry the IGP is. The Ghana Police Service is also taking steps to put the convict before the High Court on the separate charge of false communication under the Electronic Communications Act 2008, Act 775. Sasa. The Ghana Police Service reminds the public that while the Constitution guarantees freedom of expression, that right must be exercised responsibly and within the confines of the law. The service reiterates that social media is not a platform for spreading falsehoods, making threats, or publishing unlawful content, and once warns that anyone who engages in criminal conduct online will face the full rigors of the law. Signed by one Richmond Mensah, the Deputy Superintendent of Police, Staff Officer, Public Affairs. That's it. This is the IGP. COP Tete Yohon. over 40 years of policing, he was so nauseated that a 43-year-old, you are not a 2-year-old, will put a camera on herself, activate recording, and tell blatant lies. Well, her sponsors should go and save her. I will not be surprised when this lady finally comes out. The first person to be at the prison gate will be Baumia to take a photo with her and dance off beat. It's possible. It's possible. Did you hear me say that? It's possible. Look, listen. If our country must grow, we have to look at Ghana first. What is it that Mahama is doing that is not worth applauding? After close to 2 years of being in power, we are seeing nothing but glimmers of excellence. Can I rephrase that? After almost 2 years in power, all we are seeing is not a semblance. It is the true manifestation of hard work, integrity, and patriotism. This TikToker, I have no sympathy for you one bit. You have no respect. There are people in the NPP that I don't like, and there are those that I will die for. When I'm speaking, I speak with common sense. I don't threaten people's lives. I don't denigrate people, because it is weak minds that do that. Abronya, leave the denigration and the foolishness to Abronya and that other guy, Poliando, that's his name, right? That guy. Leave them, let them play the buffoonery. Abronya called the president names. The whole Ashanti regional chairman sat on his radio station in the days of Nana Addo and called the president a pedophile who slept with his own servant. At the time, he was a former president. Then when we say this, some people say Kevin Taylor. It's not everything Kevin Taylor says we agree with. My brother, my sister. But again, it is not about personalities. It's about the justice system. It's about Ghana. It's about Ghana. Ghanaians seem to love insults. Fini Jonas. 1 trillion people will listen to him insult and denigrate people. You listen to Kevin Taylor. He will make all the sense that he can. Time after time, once in a while, he also descends into a few other areas. Maybe we do too. But we know. Better still, let me speak for myself. I know where to draw the line. That is why all these years, you have never heard of any lawsuit until Shatawale decided to break the record and take me to the courts. That I called him a Sakawa boy, that he himself called himself by. It's the Black Pot. A.K.A. Kokoshonomo. Bring it here. Come here. Come here. Come here. No sympathy for you. Wallahi. I'll find time, come to the prison there, and tell you in your ear that you are very, very disrespectful. You. Look at you like a chicken. Where are all your sponsors? The best they can do for you is to bring you cabin biscuits whilst you are in there, so you can't go to toilet regularly to clog their toilets. The best they can do for you whilst you are there is to bring you fried rice and expired chicken so you can eat and get cancer. The best they can do for you is to use your name to do politics in an attempt to win back power. Power that, if they win after 6 million years, you would have been dead.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.